Right. Have you ever felt stuck, like you're trapped in the same cycle, in the same version of yourself with no way out? What if I've told you that you don't have to stay the same? That any moment you can choose to transform and become someone new. Look at the nature. A caterpillar crawls on the ground, limited and slow. But when the time is right, it enters the cocoon. It struggles, it fights, it breaks apart inside before finally emerging as a butterfly. So this transformation is painful, messy, but necessary. And that's exactly what you're capable of. As I'm always saying, transformation doesn't happen by accident. It starts with a decision to leave behind all old habits and toxic environments, and of course, limiting beliefs. So ask yourself, what version of me do I need to let go of? The fearful one, the doubtful one, or the one who keeps saying maybe tomorrow? Transformation begins the moment you stop waiting and start becoming. You know, I really love to do public speeches, but I'm really shy about it because language is English is not my first language. So it's hard for me, or I'm having a difficult time to speak with it or to use with it. But since it's taught in school, but it's one of the hurdles. But I'm trying because I believe that yes, transformation begins on yourself. The transformation begins on what you think, and that it is all about your thoughts. So, so I said to myself, oh, maybe I would start blogging so that I can speak to people more worldwide. In school, yes, I'm in law school, but those are legal jargons, which is different from common people. In other words, it's not in layman's. So, however, okay, let's continue. So then again, this blog is all about transformation. I would not say, I can't say that I am totally transformed from what I am before, because I'm still on the process, and transformation doesn't happen overnight. It is a continuous process, and it is a lifelong process. So, okay. Again, don't take transformation for perfection. Becoming you doesn't mean you'll never fail. It means you learn, you adapt, you rise again stronger than before. Every scar becomes proof of your strength. Every setback becomes fuel for your growth. The old you may have been broken, but the new you will be unshakable. Yes. Uh, I've told you transformation is not all about physical looks, but it also includes your emotional thinking, your spiritual thoughts, your emotional thoughts, the inner you, or the perspective of you in life and everything. So I would rather say that be positive on your outlooks, be positive on what you think, because I do believe that what are your thoughts, what you think attracts, you attract what you think. So your thoughts becomes reality. I do believe in that. Yes, I really do believe in that. So I've been trying to be optimistic and positive on my life, despite of every struggles that I have, despite of the problems that comes in my life. Of course, life is not perfect, and we all know that. So we should accept it already in our life, that life is not perfect, and that there will always be problems that will come in our life. So, but what matters is how would you how would you how would you fight that, or how would you solve that? What would be your solution on that problem? So, see, if you think that way, then great changes will happen. As I said, that failures are always there. You would you would fail 1,000 times, but you need to stand up again. As you can see, the owner of the KFC, and we all know his story, and that he has been rejected 1,000 times, many times, 100,000 times by those other establishments. But on his senior years, he was able to found the, to be the founder of the KFC. So we need to say we are just being redirected. Maybe we have failures because we need to learn something. So we need to have a new us in our life. We need to find lessons on those failures and let that be our motivation to life, to continue life in a positive perspective. So let's see, what are the transformation series of our life? There are so many. First is the failure. Yes, failure isn't the end of your story. It's the raw material for transformation. Everyone fails, but not everyone listens. Not everyone learns. So, failure strips away comfort, forcing you to rebuild stronger. Stories of people who turned failure into success. Yes, there are a lot of entrepreneurs, and the best example of that is the KFC founder. There are a lot of Filipinos also, and you can see online, even Rhonda, the author of the Secrets book. Okay, it just means that failing forward is equal to progress. So if you fail, maybe there's progress. So just think positive. And every failure is just like breaking you open, so the new you, stronger version of you can set up. If you think that way, maybe there's a big possibility that your future will change. Second would be transforming through discipline. Yes, motivation gets you started. Discipline transforms you. But when motivation fades, but discipline builds habits, I'm telling you, the best example of this is me. I really wanted to share the story of mine because when I gained weight, I wanted to lose it right away. I wanted to be back on my farmer self. But so I do the gym 3 hours a day, 2 hours a day. Okay, after 3 months, I lose weight. And I've gone back to my very confident self, that I can dress whatever I want, that I think that every dress I wore would be fitting on me. But what happened? I lost my discipline, or maybe discipline is not there at all, because after I lose weight, I stopped going to the gym, I stopped exercising. So that's the very best example. So if you don't have discipline, all the transformation will fade, all that motivation will fade. So, small daily actions leads to big transformation. That's what I do now. Okay, I only exercise 10 minutes a day now, 2 to 10 minutes a day, and just a simple stationary bike. We bought stationary bike so that we can do cardio. At least it's for a long run. I would say also that trans discipline isn't punishment, but it's a self-respect. Yeah. In terms, it's just the best example of it is maybe if you have work, waking up early and not going to work very late would be make you a good habit, and maybe somebody will, maybe your co-workers will appreciate it too, or they will see that you changing small or gradually. So discipline is a bridge between who you are and you were becoming. And yes, we all know the transformation after heartbreak. Who who does not experience heartbreak? We all know that everyone here experience heartbreak. I myself experience heartbreak, and and you very know that I become depressed, and that everything just become dark when I become heartbroken. But of course, I have also the thinking that I need to glow up. I need to change myself. I need to let him see that he lost me. You know, heartbreak is not just a loss, but an opening for growth. Pain teaches clarity, what you want, what you deserve. So, and also healing is transformation. You emerge wiser and more resilient. But one thing I learned about that is self-love is the foundation of your new self. I have also one friend, actually it's very specific because she's very beautiful. But yet she always ended up getting heartbroken. She's very beautiful but she lacks confidence and she's so insecure in herself. I don't know why, but she's very beautiful and she's a career woman too. So she has a good job. She have a good paying job. She's very beautiful and she's also smart, but she has always ended up getting heartbroken. So maybe there's a problem because she's insecure. I've told her that you need to love yourself first so that you can attract people who will love you more. It's what I always say, that your thoughts, you magnet what you think. So if you're insecure enough and that you think you don't deserve that kind of person, then you will attract that. If you always think that you will end up heartbroken, then that what you're saying to the universe. Can you get my point on that? So you're giving the energy of insecurities in life, so and fear, so it coming back to you, I would say. And don't let heartbreak end you. Let it revert you into someone unshakable. Fourth is transforming through change. And we all know that change is uncomfortable, but nothing grows in the comfort zone. And we are all guilty of that. We don't want to go out of our comfort zone. But transformation requires leaving what's familiar. And growth is in the unknown. New habits, new risks, and new environments. Change feels scary. Between it threatens your old self, embrace change as the tool for becoming new. We are all guilty of not leaving our comfort zone. So, but what would be our next step in life if we would just stay in our comfort zone? We do not know what will happen out there because we are too afraid to take risk. We don't know what's outside of that comfort zone. We don't know how to experience other things in life because we are on the same cycle. So what would be, try something new. No need to no need to make it a big risk, but try something new. If you don't if you do not go, for example, you just always stays at home because it's what you are used to, and just like me, I love staying at home, but from to time, I'm trying to take something new. I tried diving. I do not know how to swim, but I tried diving. And now I feel like, oh, it's really nice to do that thing because I can release my stress and I can see the beauty under the ocean. That's what it's very basic. So try something new. It doesn't need to be big. It doesn't need to be grand. Just small by small steps. So I'll say that your next level of life won't meet you where you are. It's awaiting for you where you never been. It's if you remain stagnant on what you do every day, if you remain stagnant on life, what would you think? How do you know if there is something for you that is bigger, that is brighter? So try something new. Again, transforming into your best self is the person who you are today is just the starting point, and the person you can become, well, that's limitless. If you treat failure for as lesson, if you have discipline on your transformation, if you can treat heartbreak as glow up after, and if you treat change as challenge on your life, then becoming your best self means constant transformation. But if you do treat those challenges, then there would be a bright future for you. And it's just gaining more experiences, and there will be a better version of you. So your story inspires others, and the world is watching for your growth. Transformation isn't a one-time event. We all know that. It's a lifelong journey. So, keep evolving, keep rising, and keep transforming. The best version of you is always ahead, awaiting to be discovered. You always remember that. If you want, if you want to go out on your comfort zone, then how would you know that there is something waiting for you that is brighter and bigger? Just try. Don't be afraid to change. Don't be afraid for transformation, especially if it's for the better. Well, see you next week and we finish our makeup.